Hello YouTube and welcome back to another Dare to Game video. Today we're playing Elden Ring and we're doing another weapon guide, and today's is the top 5 best whips and where to find them. So I will be doing a little bit of weapon demoing and showing stats and all that sort of stuff, but the main point of this video is just to show you where to get these weapons. So we're just going to dive on in and start off with number 5, the Urumi. So you can see I've got it here in my hands. It is a whip, obviously, because it's in a whip video, but it kind of looks like a flexible sword if you look at it, so it's got a real unique look. But I think it's kind of cool. So, as far as stats are concerned with this one, we have a max attack power of 619 and an average guarded damage negation of 18.2. The Urumi scales primarily with dexterity. As for attributes required to use this one, strength of 10 and dexterity of 19. And for our special attack here, we've got a pretty weak one. It's the kick attack. It's not super useful. It can come in handy in specific circumstances, but it's not crazy useful. No passive effects, and it can be upgraded using Ashes of War. So you can make this into a pretty specific weapon to match your playstyle. As far as getting this weapon goes, you're going to want to make your way over to Caria Manor, and the place you're going to be wanting to look for, if you've been here already, is the Manor upper level fast travel point. Otherwise, you're just going to have to make your way through the Caria Manor until you get to this point, so I'll just show you how to get there. If we're starting at the Caria Manor upper level, we're going to go through this doorway and take this elevator down, and then once you get to the bottom, you're going to be going out here, and if you look down off these ramparts to the southeast, so this way, you'll notice that there is another one that you can jump down to from here, and you're going to want to do that. And then once you get down to these ramparts, you're going to be looking for a body to loot the Urumi off of. And so it's going to be this one up here. And see, that is how you get the Urumi. If you look exactly where we are on the map, we're way off to here. So like I said, you just start here, go down the elevator, hop down, come over across these ramparts, and you can loot the Urumi. So that is how you pick this weapon up. Alright, so as far as using this weapon goes, it can be used in various different ways. You can use it two-handed, you can use it one-handed, you can dual wield it, or you could pair it with a shield or magic on one hand or whatever. So there's lots of ways you can use it. As far as a quick attack, there's our two-handed quick attack. So we did 600 and then 1000 damage, just using it one-handed with a quick attack. A little bit lower, but still pretty similar, so I don't really see much of a purpose of using it two-handed. Strength attack just does a slower kind of wind-up / sideways attack. The nice thing about the whip is that it's definitely an extremely effective weapon just using it one-handed with quick attacks, so it makes it a rapid weapon, but you also don't see much of an advantage from using strength attacks. And then with this one, again, you're just going to see that, like for the two-handed effect, it's just going to be that kick, which is okay in real specific situations. Basically, it's decent at breaking guards. So other than that, not ultimately too useful. Again, pretty cool weapon if you use it dual wield, as it's going to just give you really rapid attacks. One of the nice things about the whip is going to be just the length, like the range you get, because it's a fast attacking weapon, a lot like a dagger or a thrusting sword. So you can get those rapid high damage attacks, especially if you're pairing it with appropriate talismans and Ashes of War, but the whip gives you an advantage on reach that the other weapons don't really have. So yeah, that is number 5, the Urumi. Let's move on to number 4. Alright, and so for number 4 on this list, we have the Thorned whip, which again is clearly a whip, and it looks pretty standard for it, except it's just covered in red thorns, so it's actually got a pretty cool look to it. As far as stats on this bad boy go, we have a max attack power of 607 and an average guarded damage negation of 17.3. Attributes required to use this one are going to be 8 for strength and 16 for dexterity. Again, this one is going to, it will scale primarily with both dexterity and strength. As far as passive effects, this one does have one, and it causes a blood loss buildup, so that's a serious advantage over the Urumi. Again, it can be upgraded using Ashes of War, and unfortunately, it just starts off with the kick special attack. Not a great special attack, but it is upgradable and has a blood loss buildup, so it's pretty nice, and of course, it has all the other advantages of being a whip. As far as getting this one goes, it's going to be an annoying, grindy one. Sorry, I wish I could give you a specific location for this one, but as far as I know, there isn't one in the game. So you're going to have to make your way up to the mountaintops of the Giants up here. And from the Zamor runes, you just come up and around like you would if you were trying to progress through the region until you come to right here before this big long bridge. And there is a fire prelate right there who wields this whip. He is a respawnable enemy, and basically you're just going to have to kill him until he drops it. So to increase your chances there, you're going to want your arcane to be nice and high and use your silver foot accessory to increase your chances of him dropping it. But yeah, you just have to kill him until he drops this weapon. Again, for using these, you're not going to see anything extraordinarily special. It's going to act a lot like a any whip, but like I said, this one has the added advantage of being one that causes bleed damage. Here's our strong attack. So he did 1,000 damage there with that extra crit from, you know, being at a sneak attack. 836 with a normal one. So it definitely, they definitely hit decent damage, especially considering how fast you can hit with these whips. And of course, like I said, that increased range over the daggers and rapiers, which are other weapons that hit nice and hard. Not going to be anything special with our special attack, just a little kick. So not overly useful, but can be good in the right circumstance. So that's all for number 4. Let's move on to number 3. Okay, and so for number 3, we have Hoslow's Petal Whip. So this is probably, if not the coolest, one of the coolest looking whips in the game. I think it has a really, really unique and cool look to it. As far as stats on this one go, we have a max attack power of 616 and an average guarded damage negation of 19.3. Actually, the highest out of all the whips. And this one is kind of the best of all worlds. It's actually my favorite whip on the list. I really enjoy this one. As far as attributes required to use this one, it's going to be strength of 10 and dexterity of 20, and it's going to scale primarily with strength and dexterity. This one also causes a blood loss buildup. We get 55 points of that. This one, unfortunately, also just starts with the kick special attack, but it is upgradable, so you can use Ashes of War to, you know, specialize this one however you want. As far as acquiring this one goes, it's going to take a couple steps. So you get it when you defeat Hoslow when he invades you, but to get him to invade you, you need to make your way to Volcano Manor, and once you're there, you need to do the letter missions. After doing the 2 main letter missions, you will get a red letter, which will be to assassinate this guy. And so to assassinate Hoslow, you will need to be able to make your way up to the mountaintops of the giants, and the closest site of grace is going to be the ancient Snow Valley ruins. And once you have gotten here, you make your way over to the Shack of the Lofty, which is a pretty short journey from there. Come over here, and I can't remember if he invades you or if you have to do the little thing where you click on the little red icon on the ground, but basically you come to this location and he will invade you, you kill him, and you get this whip. So that is how you get it. So like I said, you have to have progressed through the volcano storyline to get to this point, but once you do, you just come here. So that is how you get Hoslow's Petal Whip. So again, for this weapon, it's just going to be pretty standard as far as regular attacks and stuff go for whips. Basically, like all of them, my recommendation for making it an extremely powerful weapon, whether that's PvP or PvE, is going to be through dual wielding, because that makes it infinitely better, because it's going to rapidly increase your attack speed and just put out quite a bit of DPS. So again, unfortunately, special attack is just going to be the kick. Like I said, if timed right, can be fine for breaking guard positions, but really, you're just going to want to go with the glass cannon build on these and deal as much damage as you can, as quick as you can. That is number 3, the Hoslow's Petal Whip. Let's move on to number 2. All right, and so for number 2 on the list, we have the Magma Whip Candlestick, which could potentially be the most complicated to get out of this one as far as just straightforward processes go. I think it looks pretty cool. It's obviously shaped like a candlestick and just has lava material looking flames coming out of the top, so it's got a real unique look to it. As far as stats for this one go, we have a max attack power of 707, so almost 100 points better than Hoslow's, and an average guarded damage negation of 17. As far as attributes required to use this one, strength of 8, dexterity of 16, and faith of 18, so not ridiculously high, but it does have a faith requirement. There are no passive effects on this one, but it does deal a decent amount of fire damage. And we don't have the ability to upgrade this one with Ashes of War, but it does come with the Sea of Magma special attack, which is pretty powerful. So as far as stats go, it's a pretty solid weapon, and it does have the downside of not being able to be upgraded, but it's a pretty great weapon overall. As far as getting this one goes, it's actually going to have a number of steps that are required to get it. So you eventually get it as a reward from Patches after completing an assassination mission for him, and you can see Patches is right there. There's a process to get him there. So you first find Patches over in the Murkwater Cave inside the Limgrave region, and you can find him in there, you fight him, and then you spare him. Once you've defeated him, you just don't kill him, and then you forgive him. Then if you return here again, there will be a chest in his little cave section that will transport you over to the Mistwoods. If you survive that and come back and talk to him, he will then move over here to the Scenic Isle location in Liurnia. If you talk to him there and, exhaust his dialogue options, as you will at every step along the way, then he will eventually move up to the Volcano Manor. So once you've made your way up to Volcano Manor and completed some of the other missions up here, the other letter mission, you can talk to Patches up here, and he will give you a special assassination mission where you will go and kill Great Horned Tragoth for him. And once you've done that, you can come back here, talk to him. He'll say that he's going to talk to the boss lady for a reward. You can just basically fast travel to Volcano Manor again and then go talk to him again and demand your reward, and he will give you this whip. So like I said, there are quite a few steps to getting this weapon, but once you do, it is well worth it because it's a really, really good weapon. As far as combat using this weapon goes, it's probably going to be one of the most unique out of the ones on this list. It acts as a whip, but obviously it's not a physical thing lashing out, and you're also going to deal a significant amount of fire damage with each strike. So those have been the light attacks. Here we'll do the heavy attack. Of course, we missed with our heavy attack. There we go. So pretty strong thing, but again, we're actually going to have a special two-handed effect. So you hold it, and it builds up a big old sea of magma around you, and if you keep holding it, it keeps just swinging for a nice, powerful special attack. So it's definitely got a lot of power to it. It's going to obviously drain your magic as you're using it, but you can just continuously do it as long as you have, magicka left over. So it's a very, very powerful special attack, which is what made me place it above the other three on this list, even though it can't be upgraded with Ashes of War. So that is the Magma Whip Candlestick at number 2. Let's move on to number 1. All right, and so finally at number 1, we have the Giant's Red Braid, which you can see I'm wielding here. It appears to be a whip made out of the hair of the Fire Giant, which is a pretty dangerous boss here in the game. As far as stats on this one go, we have a max attack power of 740 and an average guarded damage negation of 16.8. Attributes required to use this one: 18 for strength, 12 for dexterity, and 21 for faith. And of course it scales with all three of those, primarily with strength and faith. No passive effects on this one, and it cannot be upgraded with Ashes of War, but it does have the Flame Dance special attack, which is a incredibly powerful special attack, so it's definitely a great weapon to use just for that reason alone, but also it has, nice and high attack power just on its own. As far as getting this weapon goes, it's a very late game weapon, so you're going to need to have unlocked the mountaintops of the Giants region, so you need to have been able to go up through the Forbidden Lands, through the Grand Lift of Rold, and once you do, you have to make your way basically all the way up and around, down through here, up over across here, up to this point, and where I've got this marker up here is where he will spawn in. So once you've crossed this chasm, which can be done via 2 different chain bridges, one right here and one over there, and made your way up to that point over there. He's a dangerous enemy, but once you've killed him, you get the remembrance of the Fire Giant, and you can trade that with Enya at the Round Table Hold. And so once you've got the remembrance of the Fire Giants, you just go to Round Table Hold, come up here by Enya, receive power from remembrance, and you're going to be able to get the Burn O Flame spell or the Giant's Red Braid. And now, of course, you can get both of these. You just have to knock down a mausoleum and duplicate the remembrance there, and so you can claim either or. Obviously with the Giant's Red Braid, you're also going to need some runes to get that one, but it's definitely worth getting because it is quite the weapon. Alright, and so for using the Giant's Red Braid, it's going to work like most whips. Pretty powerful, very fast moving, all that good stuff, but again, you're going to see your best results dual wielding it, so if you can, definitely grab it. And obviously, I guess I've never tried duplicating a remembrance to get the same weapon twice in one journey. I would guess that you're not allowed to do that, but I guess I haven't tried. But I've also played I think this is my 5th journey on this character. I've got a couple of these already. But very, very effective weapons. They do quite a bit of damage, both physical and flame damage. So just on their own, they're going to be very, very good. If you're dual wielding, obviously you're going to be able to use the amazing dual wielding abilities that I've showed you with whips already, just giving you ridiculously fast and powerful attacks. But a huge thing with this one is going to be the special attack. And so we'll let this guy blow the horn to get a crowd, and then we'll show you our awesome special attack. So it does this big old fiery flame attack that I don't think they can break you out of. But it gives multiple hits. Oh yeah, look at that. They can break you out of it. But yeah, starts decently quick and just does an incredible amount of damage. You can see we just took out a whole crowd. But yeah, so definitely great weapons. I like the whips. I think they definitely are a unique playstyle, I guess, to use them. Once you've got it figured out, they can be extremely deadly, especially dual wielding, and these top 2 with their special attacks are just ridiculously overpowered. So that is my top 5 best whips, where to find them. Hopefully this video was useful and you enjoyed it, but in any case, we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching another Dare to Game video. If you liked this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my content and would like to support this channel, consider becoming a member today for as little as $1.99 a month. It makes a huge difference. But in any case, thanks for watching and have a nice day. I'll see you next time.